Now, you have lifted up in your lecture and in our conversations how cultivating a sense of agency and activism in young people and recognize the power they have to change the world now can cause eruptions of joy and growth in those young people. And I know you've been a youth minister, so you know that a youth minister is doing that. Could pick an issue that they were supporting the young people or the young people wanted to act on, where in their enactment and in their agency, the elders of the church, the senior minister would say, I'm impressed with that the kids can do that, and I'm grateful for their leadership and their action. But you could pick some issues that are actually contrary to the political or ethical sensibilities of the congregation, where you're going to be criticized that you're taking a religious institution and you're trying to do politics. What do you respond, and how do you try to navigate that so that your ministry can thrive even in the face of sometimes opposition?
Absolutely. Well, one thing I think is understanding what's at the heart of the gospel, which for me, and I read the Bible when I was 15 years old, read the whole thing from front to back because my pastor told me to, and then ended up going to seminary. And in seminary, a part of what we're trained to do is learn what is actually happening in this text, what actually was the historical life of Jesus. And so, folks in seminary would tell me, you can't actually bring this to your local church, especially for young people. But I love this question because it's not the young folks who oftentimes aren't ready for it. Sometimes it's some of the older folks in our congregations that aren't ready for this kind of message. And so one thing I try to do is insist on that message that's at the heart of the gospel, which is a thrust towards freedom and justice. And so inherent to the gospel itself is a political question. We have to remember, as my teacher, professor at seminary, Mark Taylor, always told us, Jesus did not die of old age. Jesus did not die of old age. Jesus was, in fact, crucified, which was a political act by the Roman Empire. Why was Jesus crucified? When we begin to ask these kinds of questions, a different kind of story emerges. And within that story is a set of politics that I think is central to the kind of work we should be doing in the church, the work we should be doing with young people, the work we should be doing out in the world. Now, this doesn't mean that there can't be any negotiation. In the real world of churches, I know in the churches I've served and been a part of, you're going to have to find a way to negotiate with some folks who may not share the same political view as you. One thing that I try to do is talk about values that are not reducible to politics. So maybe someone doesn't agree on my particular issue, but say they can agree about the inherent value of every human being. If we can agree on that, then maybe we can work something out where we can see at least why the young people might be taking up this issue. And it's not easy. I think we have to recognize this is messy stuff. This is hard work. But this is the kind of stuff that I think God requires us to do. And so, one, understanding the political nature of the gospel, acting that out courageously and boldly and also humbly, but also insisting on values that are at the heart of the gospel and should be at the heart of our churches.